Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So let's expose some of the pussy shit in the sport of boxing, shall we? You know, it's funny to me that they're talking about a Canelo Alvarez versus a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It shouldn't be surprising to me, but it is funny. I mean, it is funny. We all know that Canelo Alvarez has been on a money-making campaign ever since they lost that lawsuit to All Star Boxing Promotions, Canelo Alvarez's former promotional company before he signed with Golden Boy Promotions. And he lost that lawsuit, and he was out of millions of dollars of his personal money. Well, since that lawsuit has came, Canelo Alvarez has been taking touches that he basically knows he's going to win. He's been putting himself in situations. He's been draining fighters that catch weights, and he's doing all he can to ensure that he packed them dollars in the bank. You know, that Liam Smith versus Canelo fight that took place in Texas, Mexican rich Texas, you know what I mean? Purely money fight and an easy way for Canelo Alvarez to maneuver into a title. And now since he has gained that title, which was at 154 pounds, he is talking about skipping the 160 division and going up to a catch weight of 170, a catch weight of 165, and talking about fighting Julio Cesar Chavez, who's now campaigning at 168 pounds. You know, this just look bad to me on both fighters, because clearly Julio Cesar Chavez, who's clearly not elite and clearly his father's son, you know what I'm saying, gets a lot of doors open for him because of that particular fact right there. They're not elite fighters. He isn't looking to pursue the winner of the Badu Jack versus James DeGale fight. That should be all that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is talking about. Because a fight with Canelo, it will give him major recognition if he defeats Canelo, and it would give major recognition, it will basically bring back Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. if he defeats Canelo. But, I mean, no, man, this shit is just, I'd rather see that. And then on Canelo's side, you look at this. He didn't want to fight Gennady Golovkin, right, at 160. He told Gennady Golovkin he had to come down to 155 pounds, throw him a flat rate and say, hey, this is the money. It was rumored to be around $10 million. And they threw him a flat rate and then was going to make him come down 5 pounds. Well, here in this particular case, why ain't that the same type of terms being proposed to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? Oh, because he's a fellow Mexican fighter. And man, this fight will be so huge in the Mexican world. This is an opportunistic exhibition. Nothing more, nothing less. It kind of like means nothing, you know. It's just fucked up that Canelo, and I understand that he wanted to build the fight with Gennady Golovkin and make it bigger, but I mean, come on, man, you can't just skip a division, skip the top fighter that everyone wants to see you fight. You dump your title in the trash, and you basically give up your title because you didn't want to fight the guy, and now you're just skipping the whole division entirely because it really wouldn't look good if Canelo took a fight at 160 and it wasn't Gennady Golovkin. So he does the next best thing, and he says, hey, fans will be okay with it because it'll be nothing more than an exhibition. They will see this as nothing more than a money grab and whatever the fuck. Now, I ain't even want 100% that this fight will go on, because the difference in this fight between any of Canelo's past opponents is that there's a good chance in this fight that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will outweigh Canelo Alvarez. And if weight is not the advantage that Canelo will have going for him, though he is making Chavez Jr. possibly cut 3 pounds and fight him at a catch weight. But when they rehydrate, man, he'll be even bigger, if not the same size as Canelo. There is a risk stylistically, the way both of these fighters fight, there is a risk of Canelo losing that particular fight. So I'm not sure, 100% sure that this fight will be made, but it's being heavily rumored. I seen articles about being quoted, Juan Manuel Marquez being quoted about this fight, and he doesn't like it. I mean, he likes it for the Mexican world, but he doesn't understand it. You know what I mean? And I'm the same way, man. I just don't understand, like, you know, what does a fighter give a fuck about their legacy, man? Is it like in the end, or, I mean, when? I mean, all of these fighters are just fighting for checks, and it's all about the check. And I ain't saying that a fighter shouldn't be paid, man, but it's like they go through drastic measures to avoid competition to make sure that they make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It's kind of fucked up. I know they just okayed the Gennady Golovkin and Daniel Jacobs fight for March, but I mean, shit, man, I'm pretty sure they knew that the Canelo fight wasn't going to happen. Word had already been stressing them. I mean, we already heard word that they were looking to possibly make that fight for September of next year anyway, you know. So they're going to let majority of the year go by, continuously build that fight, and it'll be a much bigger fight in September. Now, if Canelo does take the fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and he beats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and Gennady Golovkin takes the fight with Daniel Jacobs, which is pretty much already done from what I hear, and he beats Daniel Jacobs, well, I will honestly admit the Canelo and Triple G fight will be humongous, man. I mean, huge. It would be bigger than it already is, which it's big. I don't know how much it would translate into pay-per-view sales, but it's a big fight amongst us boxing fans. But if they make it through their next fights, oh my goodness, this fight will be fucking epic. So maybe they just see something I don't. Me as a boxing fan, I'm just like, I hate to see shit like this. You know, fighters getting skipped over, fighters just doing any kind of thing they fucking want to do. They just operating outside of weight classes and catch weights and fighting, picking this person up. It's just a lot of shit. It's just like with Canelo Alverez, there's no fucking organization. He does what he wants, when he wants, whenever the fuck he wants. He's like, yo, that's the same way that Floyd, who's the former cash cow of boxing, went the same exact way, and now we see Canelo Alvarez doing it, but just to a worser extent, you know, because he's traveling between weight divisions and he's fighting at Canelo weights. That's at least something that Floyd wouldn't do. At least when he would do it, it was very minimal in his career as compared to Canelo, and he's doing it at a young age. That's what makes it so bad. Floyd didn't start that catchweight nonsense until he was well into his 30s, you know what I'm saying? So whatever the fuck, man, but this is the talk that's on the street, man. I don't know how much I'm liking this fight right now, given the Gennady Golovkin situation. But given that Gennady Golovkin went on to make a fight, I guess it's understandable because we know Canelo's going to come out and fight next May, and a fight of this magnitude, him and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. would fit on no other dates better than May. And if they're saving September for Gennady Golovkin, May will be great. Cinco de Mayo weekend. They may give us Cesar Chavez Jr. You see, they just padded his record with that bum he just fought in his last fight. And take in mind, in that fight, he didn't even already look all that impressive. You know what I'm saying? He fought a no-name in his last fight. They're going to use that. They're going to build it. We seen Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. at the WBC convention. I'm sure he made his rounds and opened up more doors for his son. And now here we are. We're talking about a Chavez Jr. versus fucking Canelo fight. Well, I remember Chavez Jr. saying he wanted one or two soft touches before he took on either Canelo or Gennady Golovkin. But hats off to Chavez Jr. for having a heart and the wants for wanting this fight. I mean, I get it. He's coming from a cool place, and I'm glad to see that he wants this challenge. But I just don't like what it does, man. I just don't like to see a fighter just climbing divisions. And then the fucked up part is that this is the same Canelo who will come out and tell you, oh, well, I'm not a 160-pound fighter. Oh, well, I'm not a 168-pound fighter. Motherfucker, but you just fighting at all of these random different weights whenever the fuck you want to, man. Canelo just does whatever he wants, man. I tell you, boy, Dennis the Menace and Oscar the Biatch. That's just how I see it. Until the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. You know, I'm just being real here, man. Like, I just got a respect for the organization of boxing, not just the sport. You know, fighters just doing what the fuck they want to do in the sport like that. It's like rogue fighters, you know. Some of them get away with it if they're popular enough, if they're profitable enough. And those who got up and coming or not as popular fighters, they got to play by the fucking rules. It's crazy, man. To the next video. Peace out.